he's been, you know, Chris Finch has had to take him to task for, you know, not being aware as a low man help that time, and so he's been doing it so well now in the playoffs. It was one of the main bones of contention for Chris Finch during the regular season.
Here's Ant on the step back left side three. He drains it and then pumps his chest. Edwards with 10 points in the opening 5.5 minutes, and the Wolves are now within one. They say if you take away game 2, Cornette has really struggled in his limited minutes. McDaniels fades over Physicality. That's a tough 2, and it rims off. Rebound off Rudy's hand, out of bounds. Cornette in game 1, a -7 in 8 minutes. The blowout win for San Antonio, who's a +22 in 13 minutes. But in game 3, he was a -9 in 11 minutes. Baseline left, Fox draws a foul, couldn't get the shot to go. 2 free throws coming up. So in those games 1 and 3, Jim, a -16 in 19 minutes. You get the feeling the Wolves have to make some hay. A lot when it's just like when Jokic goes off the floor. You've got to make some money.
The only thing right now is that Mike Conley's going to come into the game, I assume, for Anthony Edwards, but
It'll be
it's
for
going to be
Jay.
Okay. Again, it shows you with 3:45 here to go, you want to be able to optimize these non-Wembanyama minutes with Anthony Edwards on the floor.
Problem is, then you need Anthony Edwards to counter what Wembanyama does when he's on the floor. I mean, that's the game within the game in those matchups.
And that's where Julius Randle has to come into play, because Julius has got to help Minnesota and carry the load when Ant's out of the floor.
20-16 Spurs lead it. Here's Ant, free throw line extended right side. A little catch and fade. That came up well short, just grazed the front rim. Harper lost it off his own foot. Here's TJ Shannon, off to Ant. Here comes the boom! A throwdown for Edwards. Give him 11 points here in the opening quarter. The Wolves are within 2. Fox drops it back. Here's Harper. Keldon Johnson wing right. Fox now on the wing off the Cornette screen. Fox attacks with that left-handed dribble. Got stripped. Late whistle gets the crowd annoyed. The foul will be charged to Rudy Gobert.
Just reached in at the end there. Ant was doing a good job of trying to get back into the play. It looked like there was no contact. Chris Finch isn't looking to Jeff Newton to see if they should challenge. It looked like he just barely touches the basketball.
That last breakaway for TJ and Ant there, it's such a rare thing to see the Wolves get some fast break points. They got outscored 27-10 in game 1, 29-5 in game 2, and even 13-7 in game 3. There are not a lot of mistakes by this Spurs offense. Forcing turnovers is difficult. Fox at the free throw line goes 1 out of 2. It's a 3-point Spurs lead. 3 minutes to go first quarter. Shannon will bring it up. Fox is watching him. Now backs off. TJ crosses over, right-handed dribble down the lane. Attacking Cornette. Goes on the reverse. Didn't get it. Rudy cleans up the mess. A two-handed flush on the putback. 8-3 Timberwolves run to climb to within 1. Fox working against Conley. Spin to the baseline. Lost the dribble. Keldon Johnson lost it off his own knee into the backcourt. He collects it. It'll be an over and back. So a couple of rare mistakes by San Antonio here in the last couple of minutes. Wolves will have possession, down 1, 2:41 left to go in the opening quarter on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
Wolves.
Black Eagle, Black Eagle, Black Eagle. Prime music. Our NBA Tonight studios. Of course, one other game happening today, and it took place in Philly, where the Sixers, hoping to avoid elimination, down 3-0 in their second-round series against the New York Knicks. You thought maybe they could put up a fight, one last stand on their home floor. Not so much. Jalen Brunson and the Knicks had their way with this slumping Sixers squad.
Oohs and ahs from the crowder for Jalen Brunson, crossing over Barlow, left wing all the way to the rim for a reverse layup. Inbound stolen by McBride, and then Brunson buries a far corner three. 5 points for Brunson in about 3 seconds, and a 99-70 Knick lead forces a Nick Nurse timeout. It is a 29-point lead, their largest of the game. And after a three-pointer from Maxey brought it down to a 24-point contest, Jalen Brunson said, enough of this. And he scored 5 in a row.
22 points for Brunson. The Knicks cruise to a 30-point victory. 144-114 is the final score. They secure the sweep of the series. They won 3 of those 4 games by double digits. And the Sixers, they go quietly into the offseason. The Knicks now will await the winner of the other conference semifinal series, as the Cavs extended their chances with a bounce-back win yesterday at home against the Pistons. Let's get back to Alan and Jim.
And with that sweep, Cal, that means that the Wolves game in San Antonio on Tuesday night is now a 7 p.m. Central Time. How about that, Wolves fans? You finally get a game at a decent hour. Tonight, the 6:30 tip, which was really 6:42, and it'll likely be a 7:12 tip on Tuesday night by the time it's all said and done. You know, the Wolves got off to an awful start in Game 3, 0 for 12, down 18-3. They shot 4 of 18 to start the second quarter, but still battled back and had themselves a chance to win down the stretch.
We did make a few too many mistakes down the stretch. We made 3 really glaring defensive errors. One when we were down 1 with about 4 minutes to play, I think it was. One when we were down 2 with about 2 to 3 minutes to play, and one when we were down 3 with a minute and 45 left to play. And like you just can't make those mistakes. Those are all one possession games.
3 mistakes down the stretch really did the Wolves in. The Wolves do have possession of the basketball on an 8-3 run over the last 2:22, and a chance to get their first lead of the night. Mike Conley off the Gobert screen, pops on the left side 3. The high archer is up on its way, and nothing but net. Minnesota Mike has given the Wolves their first lead of the night. 23-21. 53% over his last 13 games for Mike beyond the arc. Dates back to the regular season. Cornette threw it away. Naz Reid leads a 2-on-1. Ayo flares out to the wing. Naz takes it to the cup, finishes and got the foul. 3-point opportunity for Naz Reid, and the Wolves starting to assert themselves with Wemby on the bench.
Second personal foul on Devin Vassell. Great take. It was a 2-on-1 break. The spacing wasn't great. Naz decided at the end, I'm not giving it up to Ayo Dosunmu. I'm just going to take this myself, and he punished Devin Vassell at the rim.
Free throw is good for Naz Reid. The Wolves now lead 26-21. They trailed by as many as 6 earlier in the quarter. Now they're up 5. Harper brings it up for San Antonio. Guarded by TJ Shannon, wing left. Here's Fox, 35 feet out off the Cornette screen. Snakes his way up top, pops on a triple. It's off the back iron, no. Cornette taps the rebound out, but right to Ayo. Now Mike Conley on the run against Fox. Flares out to the right wing, dropping it for Dosunmu. Back to Mike. Off the Naz screen, Conley a drive, dropping it back out. Here's Dosunmu, takes a run in the lane. The floater up off the back iron, no. And Dylan Harper collects the rebound with 90 seconds left to go first quarter. Harper steps through on TJ Shannon, got the lay in. Looked like TJ was setting up to draw the charge, but Dylan Harper read that well.
The floater for Ayo Dosunmu's not been there yet for him in this series.
TJ the drive, cross courts, threw it right to Fox. 26-23, the Wolves by 3. Here's Fox on the move. He shoves off on Conley. And Conley's called for the foul. Fox got around him and then almost angled Mike toward the bench, not even towards the rim.
Yeah. Mike is grabbing his arm, though. De'Aaron Fox is trying to raise his arm up, his right arm. Mike had both hands on the elbow. It's a good call by the official, Brett Barnaky, who still owes us money.
Barnaky? Barnaky? And we do have to put the PSA out there. That's not a reference to gambling of any kind. This is a stripes reference. This is important stuff.
You got to be, well, it's a 1980 movie, so you got to be probably around between 50 and 60 years old to understand the reference, unless you.
Was Barnaky a general? I always forget. General Barnaky?
I think he was a general. It was a general's house, right? That's where they went, did the festivities.
Yeah.
That's a great movie. Don't make them like that anymore.
No, they don't. 26-25 after the Fox free throws. TJ to the corner, Julius Randle over a hard charging Wembanyama, and Julius knocks down the triple. 29-25. There's Harper up into the front court, facing some pressure. Wolves are starting to do what the Spurs have done to the Wolves the last couple of games, as Harper knifes his way to the rim and scores it with ease.
Does he change directions well, or what?
Really well.
That just was really well done.
Tosumu deep three straight away. That was halfway down, popped out. Naz Reid soars in for the rebound. Conley with it, back to Naz in the corner. Up fakes on Wemby, now drives in, gets the finger roll. That's what you're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Don't settle for the three. Attack the closeout of Victor Wembanyama.
Fox sets up Harper left side. After a couple of layups, he now drains a three.
Oh, that's cold-blooded.
31-30. Under 30 seconds left to go first quarter. Timberwolves by 1. Conley pounds the dribble inside of midcourt. There's a 2.5-second differential. Game clock and shot clock. Neither team with a foul to give. Randall with it, right side against Keldon Johnson, sizing him up. 5 to shoot, spin to the elbow, back out Mike. He'll try another three and hit again. 2 threes and minutes off the bench for Mike Conley. Half-court heave, Wemby straight away. It's online, but short. And Mike Conley has provided a spark. The Wolves over the final 5:03 outscore the Spurs 22-12. And Mike Conley in 4 minutes, 2 for 2. Including a couple of threes. After one, the Wolves have the advantage, 34-30, trailing 2 games to 1 in this best-of-7 series on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network. To 12, the Timberwolves outscore the Spurs over the final 5:03. They've got a 4-point lead, 34-30. A lot to like about those final 5 minutes, and I feel like TJ Shannon, I feel like Mike Conley, Naz Reid, guys coming off the bench, really played a big role.
When we're worried about bench scoring in this game, and TJ comes in and takes a charge and pushes pace, gets a steal that creates a fast break layup for Anthony Edwards, and then Mike comes into the game and knocks down 2 threes in 4 minutes. I mean, that is a breath of fresh air. That's exactly what Minnesota needs from Mike Conley, who's not shot it well in games 2 and 3. He shot it great in game 1. Was vital to what Minnesota did in game 1 against San Antonio. He had 12 points on, great 3-point shooting for him. 3 makes for him, 4 makes for him.
So Mike Conley will remain on the floor to begin the second quarter. It'll be Conley and Shannon in the backcourt with McDaniels, Randall, and Reed up front. Wemby's on the floor for the Spurs, so it'll be Fox and Champagnie in the backcourt with Carter Bryant, Dylan Harper, and Victor Wembanyama. Here's TJ, right wing, takes Harper right to the baseline, floats up the shot, and swirls off the rim, and Wemby's got another rebound, his third. Spurs were a -1 with Wemby on in the first quarter. They were a -5 with him off.
It's going to be Nazi's second foul. He got into the popcorn machine with De'Aaron Fox, who attacked his closeout from that left corner across from the Spurs bench. Put the pump fake on. Naz could not help himself. He had to go for the pump fake, and De'Aaron Fox draws the contact.
Let me correct something here. The Spurs with Wemby on the floor, a -1 in his 9 minutes. They were a -3 with him off the floor in those 3 minutes. And that's when the Wolves really got a lot of that run going. I mean, it started a little bit before that, but again, take out game 2, an absolute blowout where everybody had huge numbers. Missed free throw, and the Wolves scoop up the loose ball in the corner. Here's McDaniels on the push. The Wolves have dominated the Cornet minutes. Here's Randall, spins into a double. Got it knocked away, gets it back. Up top, Jaden. Extra pass, Naz. Angle 3 from well beyond the arc. That comes up short with a rebound. A long one out to the 3-point line. Conley to the corner. TJ got bumped by Wemby. Again, up fake the corner 3, force Wemby to come out, drive it.
He's going to foul you, or you're going to blow past him, one of the two. TJ takes the baseline route that time on Wemby's closeout to that right corner. Runs right into the hip and goes out of bounds, and it's the proper call. It's exactly what you need to do.
Sideline out of bounds for Minnesota. Right to left across your radio. Naz Reid got tripped up by Champagnie. They let that go. Now Naz has it up top. 5 on the shot clock against Champagnie. Crosses him over between the legs. Runs it up from the elbow and hits it. How about that? You don't see that every day from Naz Reid. 36-30.
You don't see him take elbow jump shots off 1 foot, that's for sure.
Champagnie, wide open in the corner, missed it. And Jaden McDaniels had the rebound, lost it, then regains control. Feeds Conley on the push. Out to Julius, right wing 3, short. And the rebound to Dylan Harper. That would have been big. Going up by 9. Here's Harper on the attack off to Fox. Now Champagnie, right angle 3. That's short. Jaden McDaniels the rebound. Jaden looking for the hit ahead, but keeps it himself. Bumps into Champagnie crossing midcourt. Right side, here's TJ, puts on the deck on Wemby. Gets in the paint, double clutches, up off glass. Oh, he missed the shot. Oh, Wemby gets the rebound, and man, did he go down easily. I mean, Jim, you're absolutely right. This guy, you touch him and he goes down.
I thought he fouled Terrence Shannon Jr. on the pump fake as well.
I mean, he just crumbles.
Terrence Shannon got him up in the jaw with a left-right elbow, and his
own
man knocked him out.
Wow.
Chris Finch is not using his challenge here, but it was not Julius Randle or Terrence Shannon that knocked Wembanyama down.
2 fouls on Wemby. 10-11 left to go, second quarter. Harper, wing right, Champagnie up fakes the 3, flyby by Conley. Champagnie now strokes it, but short. And the rebound to TJ Shannon. One thing on his mind, attacking step through to the cup. Missed the layup off the back iron. Exploded into the paint. Here's inside Carter Bryant. Jams it for 2. 36-32. Wolves have had multiple attempts to get this up over a 2-possession lead. Couldn't do it.
TJ's 0 for 4 in the game.
Jaden settles for a right side 3. That's off the back iron, no good. Jaden's 0 for 1 from beyond the arc. He's now 5 for 30 in the postseason. 3-ball left angle, no. And the Wolves have the rebound. Wembanyama missed that last one. Here's Shannon. They lob it inside, looking for Randall. Tough catch under the backboard, doubled. Looking to get rid of it. Up top, Naz Reid. Fumbled the pass, regained control. Now to Shannon. Missed the 3 long off the heel. Timberwolves are 4 of 13 from long range. Spurs 3 for 10. Drive by Harper, and he gets through and lays it in for 2. Here's Naz Reid on the right wing against Wembanyama. Steps back, launches the 3, comes up short.
Our shot selection here has really gone in a bad way in the last 2 minutes.
Castle cross court, Carter Bryant catch and shoot right in front of his own bench. Missed it, Wemby. Wow, with those long arms. Oh, swings the elbow. He just knocked Naz Reid almost out. Not only is that a foul, that should be upgraded to a flagrant. I mean, that's a wild wind-up and swing.
That should be a flagrant 2. He should be ejected.
Wow.
He should be ejected for that. That's
Wow.
worse than a punch.
Hey,
I mean,
they're not
that's a
over-exaggerating
dead elbow
either.
swing into
Like,
the
for
jaw
real,
of
for
Naz
real.
Reid that looked like it almost knocked him out. If Rudy Gobert did that, and he's been ejected, Rudy has, for doing a similar thing. I think about Mark Williams earlier in the season against the Phoenix Suns. Rudy Gobert was ejected for a flagrant 2 for swinging that elbow. Yeah, he should be ejected for that. They may not do it, but that is a wind-up.
Oh, man, it's a wind-up. It's a follow-through. It's a shot to the head. Wemby should be out of this game. You think, Zach?
That's the worst elbow
Wow.
I've ever seen anybody give another player.
I'm stunned.
Hey, first of all, it's good to see y'all. But yeah, no, that is like wind up. That could have been a lot worse than what it was because he hit him more in the throat area than the chin. But definitely a wind up.
He looks at him,
Unnecessary
Alan. He
and
sized him.
excessive.
He
Yes.
sized him up.
That is unbelievable. They better have the guts to call it, Jim. They better have the guts to call it.
If they don't call this a flagrant 2,
Stunning. This is an easy call. Don't do it, Zach. Zach Zarba, the crew chief.
they're going to have a riot on their hands if they don't make this a flagrant 2.
This has to be. It has to be. I mean, the plays they're battling for the rebound. Jaden and Naz are right on Wemby. But Wemby clearly has the ball, and everybody kind of stops for a second. Then he winds up and throws the elbow. I just question whether the officials have the guts to call it. They took off the headsets, they huddled up, and now they're putting the headsets back on. It's definitely the 3rd foul on Wemby, and he should be out of the game. That's as blatant as blatant gets.
It's so dangerous because he really could have hurt Naz Reid. He could have broken his jaw.
Absolutely. It's unnecessary. It's acceptable.
That's what I was saying.
There's wind up. There's follow.
If it was like a half an inch higher, 2 centimeters higher, that could have been really, really bad.
Every criteria is met. Here's Zach Zarba.
After review, there is wind-up, impact, and follow-through above the neck of an opponent. It is unnecessary and excessive in contact by Wembanyama. It meets all the criteria and has been upgraded to a flagrant foul penalty 2. Wembanyama's been ejected.
It's perfectly executed by the officials. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Wemby may have just changed this series. He's gone. A flagrant 2. He claps his hands, gives his teammates some hugs, daps them up, but he's done. He is done. And he may have just cost his team game 4.
I'll tell you one thing, he just cost a lot of people in the fantasy world a lot of money. A lot of money. Ooh, Wemby.
I'm ready for 35 straight minutes of Luke Cornett. Bring it on. I didn't think they'd do it, Jim. As much as I thought it was a no-doubter, I just there was a part of me that feared they wouldn't have had the guts to do it. To take a star off the floor like Wemby.
You can't not do it. If you did that, you would lose all credibility. There's so many eyes on this game right now. I mean, we're the only game going right now, and everybody's watching it. If you did that, you would show preferential treatment in a way that you cannot do that.
Yeah.
So, with Wemby in, Minnesota's 9 of 27. When he's been out, Minnesota's 4 of 8. Shooting the basketball, yeah.
Yep. Naz hits the 2 free throws. Wolves have possession. They're up by 4. So it was 36-34. Minnesota leading when Wemby goes out.
This has got to put San Antonio on their heels.
Wolves have the ball right to left. Ayo Dosunmu, Anthony Edwards. Oh, and another whistle, and
they're going to call a foul on Naz Reid here.
Foul.
They're going to call it on Jaden. They're going to call it on Jaden. Jaden was being guarded by Carter Bryant in the corner. Naz was setting a pin down on him. They're gonna challenge this.
Yeah, the Timberwolves jumped up off the bench. They call a timeout. They're going to challenge this.
Carter Bryant hit Naz up in the head too. So Naz has taken some serious beatings here these last 2 possessions.
It's quite remarkable that Naz jumped up off the floor as quickly as he did after that elbow. I mean, that's as blatant a shot as you will see. Timeout on the floor, 8:36 left to go in the second quarter. Things have been dialed up a bit here in game 4. Wolves are challenging this last call on the Timberwolves radio network.
Happy Mother's Day to the moms. Happy Mother's Day to the fathers, who gotta be moms too. Potoi, good to see y'all. Wemby, what are you doing, bro? Frustration. Oh my goodness.
.36 left to go in a very entertaining second quarter, 38-34. The review continues on an offensive foul, on a illegal screen set by Naz Reid, but he gets plowed into by Carter Bryant. I mean, this is the Julius Randle play from, I don't know when that was. Was that Denver series? Like running into
that was the Houston game. That was the Houston game. That was
your buddy Scott Foster.
Scott Foster. Well, look, they're hand fighting in the corner. Carter Bryant is guarding Jaden McDaniels. They're hand fighting, but Carter Bryant hits Naz Reid really hard, and this is way harder than what Naz Reid did to Kevin Durant in that Houston game. Then Julius Randle, Julius Randle knocked into Kevin Durant, and that's what caused the flagrant foul. But that was a big play in that game, too. Helped Houston tie that game up against Minnesota, that Minnesota ended up winning in overtime, down 13 in overtime.
It was unbelievable. That was an incredible game.
It really was.
And the 15-0 run to end it for Minnesota.
I don't know how this is a foul on Jaden McDaniels. They are hand fighting, which is legal. You can hand fight with a player that's defending you out of the corner.
Zach Zarba is still on the headset. He's been there for a lot the last couple of plays.
We got a lot of pressure.
It's been deemed the contact between McDaniels and Carter Bryant is marginal. The essence of this play is Carter Bryant running through a legal screen set by Naz
That's
Reid.
it.
Ruling on the floor is to overturn to a defensive foul on Bryant.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, hand fighting is allowed. When you're in the corner and you're fighting for position and coming off a pin down, that is completely legal. And it's, as they said, it's marginal. And so the foul was Carter Bryant running through that screen with the force that he did. He could have skinnied up and just trailed Jaden McDaniels.
No, but Carter Bryant wants to stir things up. That's in his DNA. Now he's off the floor here.
This is getting to be a physical series, and we're already, I mean, it hasn't taken long to get a rivalry. It's a series like this, a Wembanyama elbow to the jaw of Naz Reid that can start it up.
Anthony Edwards got it out of the timeout here. Splits two, steps through, gets his shot blocked by Cornette, who still has good length at 7'1". The Wolves may have dominated his minutes. He's still got that shot blocking ability, averaged a block per game in 21 minutes coming off the bench this year.
They can play small too, by the way. They can put Harrison Barnes in the game. They can play their small line of Keldon Johnson as well, as Minnesota throws it away.
And off the inbound again, Harper. He gets turned over, and the Wolves get it right back. One turnover begets another. Wolves by 4, 38-34. Daniels up top, a crossover on Champagne. He steps through, kick out, Ant left side. He holds. Castle now with him. Ant sees two, bounce it to Randall. Good look at a right wing three, and buries it. Julius Randle, his second three ball of the night. He's up to 8 points. The Timberwolves have the largest lead of the game. They're up 7. Castle off the Harper screen. Cornette now comes to set the screen. That picks off Aya. Castle. Aya on his hip, leans in, now fades on the jumper. It's short. Edwards has the rebound.
Ayo's such a good defender, too, getting back in front of Castle, contesting that shot.
Ayo sumo teams players are shooting 32% against him this year in the postseason. He's been unbelievable defensively.
Great pocket pass that time by Julius Randle. Rudy on the roll in the middle of the floor. Gets fouled by Luke Cornette. Devin Vassell's getting ready to check back in for San Antonio.
I'm still stunned that Wemby's gone. The difference between 2-2 and 3-1 in a series couldn't be much larger.
So after Tony Brothers played the heel last game, Zach Zarba is now looking like a real hero here for Minnesota fans, turning the tide, the referee tide here. Tony Brothers is a great guy, though. I'm a big fan of Tony Brothers. Don't judge him too harshly, ladies and gentlemen. He is a great NBA official, and he's one of our favorites.
Timberwolves 6-0 since Wemby picked up his 3rd career flagrant. So in 3 years, he's only had now 3 when you include regular and postseason. It's his first career ejection from a game. Here's Castle spinning away off the Cornette screen, down the lane, back to Cornette. He went up for the dunk, lost it. It ricocheted off the glass and went through. He couldn't do that again if he tried. 42-36. 7 to go, second quarter. Here comes Randall, left side against Harrison Barnes. Takes him out to the perimeter, sizes him up at the elbow, now into the paint. Bumps, falls on the 12-footer and strokes it.
That's his rhythm shot right there, left side of the floor, working to the middle, the step back fadeaway. Money shot for Julius Randle.
Double figures for Randall. Ant's got 11. Fox falls to the floor in the low block, maintains the dribble. Now out to Devin Vassell, back to Fox. Fox runs into McDaniels, top of the key, steps back on a 23-footer and strokes it. Oh, De'Aaron Fox, it might be his time with Wemby off the floor.
There's no doubt, and he's got the ability to attack too.
Rudy with it up top. Dribble handoff, here's Ant on the move. A left-handed dribble, lobs it back for Rudy. It got deflected by Cornette, then Rudy was the last to touch.
Well, Ant's got to engage Cornette more. He let Cornette play back that time. He bent back to Rudy and deflected that pass.
There's Fox up on the right side, around the three-point line. Off of Cornet's screen, into the paint, leans in, shot up, off back iron, no. Rebound tapped out, still loose. Barnes in the paint, he lost it. Squirts free to Castle up top. 10 on the shot clock, now with 9. Castle against Ayo, into the paint, steps through, the shot partially blocked by Dosunmu. Comes off the ring, Castle's got it, put back good off the window. Boy, Stephon Castle just battling inside.
He's so big. I mean, people don't realize how big Stephon Castle is.
Dosunmu right side, McDaniels pulls up, 12-footer, got it from the right side, just outside the paint. Second field goal of the game for Jaden McDaniels. Give Ayo the dime, that's his first of the night. 46-40, Wolves by 6. Harrison Barnes with it on the deck against Dosunmu. Spins into the paint, runs into Rudy, kicks out to Castle right angle. 7 to shoot. 5 feet beyond the arc. Castle still with it, sidesteps to his left, pulls up on the 3, no. Cornet, a slam follow. Somehow he got free inside and had excellent position right at the rim. 46-42. 5:07 left to go first half. Randall on the run, shoves off on Barnes, kicks out to Ayo, left wing 3 is good. Wolves starting to find some rhythm offensively. That's their 6th made 3 of the night. 6 of 16 is 38%. 49-42, Fox down the lane, the lob to Cornet, too tall, and Dosunmu comes away with it. Here's Ant on the move, top of the key. Tried to bounce it in traffic off to Randall and turned it over. Castle stripped from behind by Edwards. It comes to Fox, who scoots baseline, puts up the shot, it's off rim, no. Ant's got the rebound. 7-point Timberwolves lead, 4.5 to go second quarter. Ant runs away from Castle. Into the paint, now runs it up with the right hand, no, but he got fouled from behind. Castle picks it up, that'll be his second. Castle averages over 4 fouls a game in the postseason, 3rd most in the NBA. One spot ahead of him, Jaden McDaniels averaging about 4.3 fouls per game in the postseason.
Ant has 11, getting ready to add to that here. Julius Randle has 10, both those two in double figures. Harper, the only player for San Antonio that is in double figures. Ant misses the first one.
Short off the front rim and timeout. 4:21 left to play here in quarter number 2. Wemby has been ejected after throwing an elbow and getting a flagrant foul, 2, the first of his career. Timberwolves have the lead by 7, 49-42. Scoreboard update next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Noon as the Philadelphia 76ers attempting to delay their elimination via the New York Knicks. The Knicks, though, had other ideas. A dominant performance from Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, and company. A 144-114 rout of the Sixers. So Philly's postseason is now done. Brunson had 22 points in the win. Knicks will now sit back and await the winner of the Pistons-Cavs series. Detroit currently with the 2-1 lead in that matchup. Joel Embiid for the Sixers managed to play in the final 4 games of that first-round comeback against the Celtics. Played in 3 of the 4 games against the Knicks and spoke after the loss about the fact that he was able to get out on the floor.
I mean, I said it, and I'm going to say it again. I know we lost, and I know that's not the right mentality to have. But, for me, this was a success. I came into this year not knowing where I was going to be, how long I was going to play. if I was even going to play based on how the knee was the last few years. And, I came in just, hoping for the best. And I feel like we're in a position where we figured out the knee. Hasn't been an issue.
So he's feeling better about that knee, but he and the Sixers will now head into their offseason. Games from yesterday, real quick, the Pistons and Cavs. Cleveland gets the 116-109 victory, so they're down 2-1 in that series. And the Oklahoma City Thunder, they can capture the sweep of LeBron and the shorthanded Lakers in tomorrow's Game 4 from L.A. Still 4 minutes left in this first half. Let's get back to Alan Horton and Jim Peterson.
All right, Cal, thank you. 4:21 left to go in an entertaining first half. The Wolves not only lead by 7, but they got a chance, a real chance, a good chance, a chance they should capitalize on with Victor Wembanyama being out for the remainder of this game. Ejected after a flagrant foul, a blatant elbow to the jaw of Naz Reid. That's New Jersey tough right there. Naz Reid taking that elbow from Wemby. First career ejection for Victor Wembanyama. Regular or postseason. Free throws for Ant. Goes 1 out of 2. Missed the first one before the timeout. Here's Fox left to right. Spurs and the association whites. Here's Vassell, baseline drive off to Cornet. Scoops couldn't get the score, but he got the foul. Luke Cornet in his 9th year out of Vanderbilt. 30 years of age. Will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Luke's dad, Frank, played 89 games over 2 seasons with the Milwaukee Bucks. Had a 5-year pro career that included overseas. First free throw is good for Luke. Raised in Lexington, Kentucky.
Luke Cornet also played at Vanderbilt the year that the Northwestern Wildcats, my son Sanjay's team, beat them in the NCAA playoffs. Northwestern's first ever NCAA win in the tournament.
Beat Luke Cornet and the Vanderbilt Commodores?
Yes.
Good. Happy to hear that.
Took him down.
50-43, 1 out of 2 for Luke Cornet. 83% free throw shooter in the regular season. Ant spins away off the Rudy screen, down the lane, scoops it up with the right hand and hits. How about that finish as he hit the deck? 2 more for Ant. He's up to 14 here in the first half.
Great action by Minnesota. The pin down by Gobert onto Ant that freed him up.
Fox drifts left, working against Dosumu. Mid post, left side, 2 feet in the paint. Now fades and hits just inside the free throw line. 2 more for De'Aaron Fox. He's up to 11. He and Dylan Harper pace the way for San Antonio. Here's Naz Reid spinning inside, off to Rudy. He goes up and gets his shot blocked. Cornet with his 2nd rejection of the game. Fox on the push, top of the key, out to the right wing. Carter Bryant, his pass intended for Vassell, jumped by Naz Reid and deflected out of bounds. 3:16 left to go in the first half. Here comes Julius Randle. Rudy Gobert will sit, so the Wolves have a lineup now of Edwards and Dosumu in the backcourt. McDaniels, Randle, and Reed up front. Luke Cornet, he's got it off the inbound, guarded by Edwards. Now Fox with it to the corner of Vassell. Jaden fell for the pump fake. Vassell, the drive, kick out up top. Castle, straight away 3 is good. 4 of 13 for the Spurs on their 3.
Bucket.
They're within 4.
Castle not scared. They're going to need all of that tonight.
Nas with it, right wing, guarded by Fox. Dribble handoff to Dosumu. Fox just stays with the ball. They're switching. Here's Dosumu against Cornet. Likes the matchup. Blow by. Layup. Got it. Left hand. Dosumu puts the Wolves up by 6.
But they're going to have to stop that tonight.
Pull up 3 instead off to Carter Bryant. Not a threat to score himself unless he's spot up. Here's Castle. Doubled inside Cornet. Over Edwards. Shot no good. They put Edwards on Cornet. Now Wemby on the floor. His hand goes down the lane. Drives in and scores it for 2. The Wolves getting rim happy right now as Castle follows up a miss by De'Aaron Fox. Slamming it through for 2, 56-50. But without Wemby out there, the Wolves are just going to be relentless attacking the rim. Randle with it. Cornet backing off. Free throw line. Now to the dotted line and lost the ball. Devin Vassell comes away with it. He's on the run. Ayo cuts him off, pokes it free. It's out of bounds. It'll stay San Antonio ball. 1 and 2 minutes to go.
Great job by Ayo to get back in transition. Julius turns it over. over dribbling the basketball, and Ayo just knocks it out of bounds and makes them take it out of bounds, breaking up that fast break opportunity. A lot of contact on that play too, by the way. Devin Vassell was upset that there was no foul called.
Inbound Vassell, baseline, stop and pop jumper is good.
He's cold-blooded.
So many teams use that inbound, baseline out of bounds to a curling wing player. It's almost impossible to stop. And on the move against Castle, down the lane, hangs off glass, got it for 2 more. 18 first half points for Edwards, 58-52. Carter Bryant's got bumped, cross-court pass, picked off by Edwards. And controls at three-quarter court with 90 seconds left to go in the first half. Now at the hash mark, far side, working against Vassell. Stops at the three-point line, still pounding the dribble with the right hand. 10 on the shot clock, and face up, now the double comes. Up top Nas, they move it left wing. Here's Dosunmu, high post Randall. Julius lost the ball again, turnover number 3. Here's Harper back the other way, right by Nas Reed, layup no. Anthony Edwards with the rebound. 1:05 left to go in the first half.
Julius Randle has to move the basketball.
Nas Reed with it at the right angle, back out to midcourt. Here's Anthony Edwards against Dylan Harper. Right-handed dribble, cut off, switches to the left hand, gets to the elbow, skids to a stop, rises on the jumper. It's off rim, no. Randall battling for the board. He got it, then got stripped. Keldon Johnson comes away with it. Devin Vassell now with it. Front court, here's Keldon Johnson on a drive against McDaniels. He got the lay-in and he got the foul. Reach in on Jaden McDaniels. 41.5 seconds left, 58-54. I feel like halftime's going to be fascinating to see how each team now adjusts to there being no Wemby.
There's no doubt. Well, San Antonio's played without Wembanyama, so they know how to do that. They still had relative success without Wemby this season. You don't win 62 games and not be able to play in adverse situations.
Wemby played 64 of those 82 games. McDaniels back the other way. From the left block, rises and hits it off the glass for 2. Bulls now up to 47% shooting, but the Spurs are hitting 51% of their shots, despite 4 of 13 from deep. Bulls by 6, looking for a stop here with a 10-second differential on the clock. Stephon Castle matched up against Nas Reed. Nas poked it free. It's out of bounds at midcourt with 10 on the shot clock.
9.9 differential.
Castle, Vassell, Harper, Fox coming in.
Here comes Fox.
There goes Carter Bryant. Maybe there goes Keldon Johnson. Inbound comes to Harper, and here we go. With the Wolves up by 6. Spurs with it. Dylan Harper rejects the Castle screen, working on Edwards. Off to Castle in the paint, fades on the 14-footer. No good off front rim. Rebound out of bounds. It'll stay San Antonio basketball.
No, they're not going to review this. Anthony Edwards is calling for a review. Chris Finch is not going to waste a review on that play.
Well, now Carter Bryant comes out. They get Julian Champagnie in. 7.5 seconds left. San Antonio can hold for the final shot.
Get your sniper out there in the form of Julian Champagnie.
0 for 3 on his threes so far. But again, Champagnie number 2 in the postseason on threes. His corner 3 here hits off the side of the backboard and then hit the baseline.
I mean, it hit the back of the backboard. He wasn't blocked either because he discarded the defender.
Officials are huddling up here, and they're going to give it to Minnesota, and they're going to have 3.2 seconds on the clock. I'm not sure the Spurs. Oh, Mitch Johnson is hot. Boy, he slaps his hands a couple of times. Thought for a second he wanted to challenge that. He is going to challenge it. With 3.2 seconds left to go in the second quarter, 60-54. Wolves lead by 6.
The ruling on the floor is an out-of-bounds awarded Minnesota. San Antonio is challenging a proximate foul.
Well, they're not challenging the proximate foul. Zach kind of got that wording wrong. They're challenging the call out of bounds, and there might be a foul proximate to the play.
I didn't see a foul. Nas Reed did fly by Julian Champagnie, but I don't think he hit it. He doesn't touch his arm. Julian Champagnie was forced to reload because Nas did come to contest the shot, but I didn't see any contact by Nas.
Timberwolves basketball tonight, Game 4, brought to you in part by Travel South Dakota. If you call yourself an explorer, now's the time to get out there and get lost somewhere you haven't found yet. Plan your next best adventure today at TravelSouthDakota.com.
This would be an interesting way to lose your challenge. 3.2 left in the game. You're challenging a low percentage scoring opportunity for Minnesota. And so you're also challenging a marginal call here.
Zach Zarba. It's a quick review.
After review, it's been deemed the left knee of Reed makes illegal contact to the shoulder of Champagnie. Ruling on the floor is overturned to a defensive foul on Reed. It's a successful challenge. Will shoot 2 free throws. He was not in upward shooting motion. Penalty free throw.
Okay. Well, I guess I didn't see the contact by Nas's knee onto the shoulder. Well, there is, you can see it there in the replay from the opposite side. The one they were showing in the arena.
Yeah, was from a different
you
angle.
had to see it from the stands. There's a slash camera in the stands that showed really good hard contact by Nas's knee into the shoulder of Julian Champagnie.
To help paint the picture, Nas wasn't closing straight out towards the shooter. He was coming from more above the break to the baseline.
Yes.
So coming across in front of Champagnie.
In front of him, yeah.
He got up in the air, and his knee does make contact with the left shoulder of Champagnie. So it is only 2 shots, not 3. Champagnie hits the first. Spurs will make a couple of defensive substitutions. The 2 guys they took out to get more offense on the floor, they bring back Johnson and Bryant.
And Minnesota gets more time. There's 6.8 on the clock.
6.8. Hello. 2 free throws are good. 4-point game. Inbound, TJ Shannon in the backcourt. Breaks 2. Drives in. Top of the key. Down the lane. Runs up the shot. Off glass. No. At the buzzer. 60-56. TJ Shannon somehow went 3/4 court in about 4.5 seconds through traffic. Timberwolves up by 4 at the break. Wemby, the big story, ejected early in the second quarter with a flagrant foul, 2. Halftime is next. Cal Soderquist anchors that from the NBA Tonight studios on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Happy Mother's Day to the mamas and the daddies who are mamas. You know how that work out. Halftime. See y'all in about 12 or 15 minutes. Wemby, what are you doing, bro? That might have done a lot more damage than just tonight. Minnesota win this game? Hey, basketball has a funny way of doing things. Potoi, halftime, back to the background.
After review, there is wind-up impact and follow-through above the neck of an opponent. It is unnecessary and excessive in contact by Wembanyama. It meets all the criteria and has been upgraded to a flagrant foul penalty 2. Wembanyama's been ejected.
It's perfectly executed by the officials. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Wemby may have just changed this series. He's gone. A flagrant 2. He claps his hands, gives his teammates some hugs, daps them up, but he is done. And he may have just cost his team Game 4.
Unquestionably, the moment of this first half in this Game 4 here so far. Victor Wembanyama with his team down just 2 points, just 3.5 minutes in to the second quarter, tossed for a blatantly unnecessary elbow, a stray elbow that connects with Naz Reid's chin and neck area, and it sees Wemby ejected from this game. Timberwolves only able to build 2 more points onto that lead. Right now at the half, it's a 60-56 advantage. But, of course, Wemby's absence, the reigning defensive player of the year, will be felt throughout this second half. Welcome inside the halftime show. Cal Soderquist here with you in our NBA Tonight studios. We'll get to a few first-half highlights in just a moment.
Appreciate you hanging out. I apologize to those who have Wemby on their fantasy teams in any shape, form, or fashion, because you have lost your money.
First quarter, and at times we were worried it was going
Back
to be
to
like
the talk.
opening minutes of Friday's Game 3 all over again. But Minnesota steadied themselves, built a 4-point lead after one, and remained in control throughout that second frame. We'll also spotlight our hot player of the half. Surprise, surprise. It might be that number 5 once again, who leads all scorers with 18 first-half points, trying to follow up his stellar 32-point, 14-rebound double-double in Friday's Game 3 defeat. We'll also quickly catch you up on the action that unfolded earlier this evening in the association as the New York Knicks secured a sweep of their Eastern Conference semifinal series against Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, and the Sixers. And then Alan and Jim will chat with assistant coach Pablo Prigioni, as in many ways this sort of feels like a new game with no more Wemby patrolling the floor defensively and putting pressure on Minnesota's defense with all the things he can do on the offensive end. Before we get to anything, though, let's pause. 10 quick seconds. We allow our stations across our network to identify themselves. You're listening to Timberwolves basketball.
This is Potoi YouTube station. Hey, this counts. I'm identifying myself, but y'all already know who I am.
All right, at the half here at Target Center, Timberwolves with a 60-56 advantage over this now Wemby-less Spurs squad. The Wolves, of course, desperate for a bounce-back effort after Friday's gut-wrenching Game 3 defeat. It saw them go down 2-1 in this best-of-7 series, and we all know the implications of a 3-1 deficit should Minnesota falter again here tonight. The good news, back on their home floor, and the good news, unlike the early 18-3 deficit they found themselves in on Friday night, the Timberwolves, despite going down as many as 6 early, quickly found their footing and took full advantage of Spurs turnovers in that opening frame.
That came up well short, just grazed the front rim. Harper lost it off his own foot. Here's TJ Shannon, off to Ant. Here comes the boom! A throwdown for Edwards. Give him 11 points here in the opening quarter. The Wolves are within 2.
A tone-setting 11 first-quarter points for Ant. He did it ultra-efficiently, 3 of 5 from the field. And how about 5 Spurs turnovers in that first frame? Wolves turned those into 10 points. A 10-2 edge in points off turnovers. That feels massive against a Spurs team that does a great job of not beating themselves, not turning it over a heck of a lot. Later in that frame, Mike Conley ensuring that the Wolves finish that first quarter with a flurry.
Randall with it, right side against Keldon Johnson, sizing him up, 5 to shoot, spin to the elbow, back out Mike. He'll try another 3 and hit again! 2 threes in 3 minutes off the bench for Mike Conley. Half-court heave, Wemby straight away. It's online, but short. And Mike Conley has provided a spark. The Wolves over the final 5:03 outscore the Spurs 22-12. And Mike Conley in 4 minutes, 2 for 2, including a couple of threes.
Yeah, a couple big triples from Mike late in that first quarter, helping spark that surge that saw the Wolves carry a 4-point lead into the second frame. 34-30, Wolves with the lead, a charged-up Target Center behind their home team. And the Wolves needed that long-distance shooting because we saw them struggle mightily in that area in Friday's Game 3 defeat. And like we mentioned, like you probably know by now, things turned up to 10 just 3.5 minutes into that second quarter. Let's take one more listen to that full sequence from Victor Wembanyama.
Gone in a bad way in the last 2 minutes.
Castle cross court, Carter Bryant catch and shoot right in front of his own bench, missed it. Wemby, wow, with those long arms. Oh, swings the elbow. He just knocked Naz Reid almost out. Not only is that a foul, that should be upgraded to a flagrant. I mean, that's a wild wind-up and swing.
That should be a flagrant 2. He should be ejected.
Wow.
He should be ejected for that. That's worse than a punch.
After review, there is wind-up, impact, and follow-through above the neck of an opponent. It is unnecessary and excessive in contact by Wembanyama. It meets all the criteria and has been upgraded to a flagrant foul penalty 2. Wembanyama's been ejected.
It's perfectly executed by the officials. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Wemby may have just changed this series. He's gone. A flagrant 2. He claps his hands, gives his teammates some hugs, daps them up, but he is done. And he may have just cost his team game 4.
Yeah, it feels like a stray elbow that could have some big-time ripple effects. We will have to wait and see, but we know for sure his game 4 is done. He finishes with 4 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 of 5 from the field. He played 12 minutes before being tossed with that flagrant 2 foul. Meanwhile, the Timberwolves, like we mentioned, only managing to outscore the Spurs by 2 more points. They had a 2-point lead during that Wemby sequence, but it's a 60-56 advantage for Minnesota. Some great things to spotlight. Anthony Edwards picking up where he left off after the 32-point performance on Friday. 18 more in the first half tonight. 6 of 10 from the field. He knocked down half of his 2 triple tries, went to the free throw line 6 times, hit 5 of those. Also had 4 rebounds in his 18 first half minutes. Julius Randle is into double figures with 10 on 4 of 8 shooting, but the arguably most encouraging stat from Julius in that first half, 3 assists. He had 4 total dimes in the first 3 games of this series, including for the first time in a Timberwolves uniform, failing to register an assist in Friday's Game 3 defeat. So great to see some of the playmaking from Julius in that first half. Naz Reid had 9 off the bench in his 14 minutes. Jaden McDaniels, 6 points, 4 boards. And we've got to tip our caps to TJ Shannon once again. Despite going scoreless, missing all 6 of his field goal attempts, ties Mike Conley for team best +8 in his 10 minutes. Anthony Edwards is our hot player of the half with those 18 points. That's good enough to lead all scorers in this first half. Steph Castle has 14 to pace the way for the Spurs. De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper with 11 apiece, but Ant 6 of 10 from the field, 18 first half points. Hot player, as always, brought to you by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930. Visit them online at standardheating.com. Wolves went up as many as 9. You thought maybe they'd deliver the knockout blow late in that first half, but De'Aaron Fox and the Spurs still very much in the fight, down 60-56. When we come back, we'll tell you about the other action in the association earlier this afternoon. Knicks officially finishing off the Sixers in Philly. We'll tell you about that here on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Wolves.
Listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
It's a 4-point halftime lead for the Timberwolves as Victor Wembanyama tossed from this ball game just minutes into the second quarter after the flagrant 2 elbow connecting with Naz Reid's chin. Wolves took advantage and built a 4-point lead at the intermission. Anthony Edwards leads all scorers with 18 first-half points. Quickly catching you up on the one final from earlier this afternoon in Philly. New York Knicks secure the 4-game sweep of the Sixers, a 30-point rout of the Sixers on their home floor. Knicks won 2 of these 4 games by 30 or more, and they will now await the winner of the Pistons-Cavs series in the East. Timberwolves with that 4-point lead. One more quick break. We'll hear from assistant coach Pablo Prigioni next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Wemby being out of the game, and how does that sort of affect the game plan in the second half? What did you guys talk about?
Well, we expect a little more small lineups from them, you know, 5 small, spread out, and try to drive us. So, you know, talk about that, talk about stand up on those drives, be physical on those drives. So hopefully we are, you know, we're ready for that.
It seemed like you guys really started attacking the rim even more, knowing that Wemby's out. Is that part of the game plan in the second half?
Definitely, definitely. You know, it's not the same. They still have Cornet, you know, can deter some of those shots. But definitely we got to be aggressive getting downhill. And if they collapse the paint with other smalls, look for kickouts.
Yeah, a couple of turnovers, too. Julius and Ant have 7 of the 9 turnovers. Just have to be making quicker decisions with the ball?
For sure, and then also missing layups. You know, I think sometimes missed layup is the same or even worse than a turnover, you know, because you have a man down the floor, and then they run. So take care of the ball and go finish those layups.
Pablo, appreciate the visit. Good luck second half.
Thank you, guys.
Pablo Prigioni along with us. We get set for the third quarter. 60-56 is our score. The playoff hunt, fans, is heating up. You don't want to miss out. Secure your seats for postseason action right now. Get your tickets at timberwolves.com/playoffs. Jim, your thoughts on this second half? A very important 24 minutes here. No Victor Wembanyama, and the Wolves up by 4 with a chance to tie this series at 2 games apiece.
I feel you're playing into their hands if you start playing isolation basketball, if you turn the ball over, if you start shooting yourself in the foot. So for Anthony Edwards and for Julius Randle, it's important to play off your teammates. When Minnesota has played the best this playoff run, it's been when they shared the basketball.
That's always been the case, isn't it?
It's
the basketball.
Move it.
It's been so crucial for this Wolves offense. Game 4 for the Timberwolves and Spurs. Wolves are 8-10 all time in Game 4s, but under head coach Chris Finch, they're 7-2 in Game 4s. Compared to Flip Saunders and Tom Thibodeau, the only other 2 coaches to take a Wolves team to the postseason. Those 2 combined to go 1 for 8 in Game 4s. In fact, the 7-2 record for Chris Finch, best in NBA history for any coach coaching over 8 Game 4s. Chris Finch, Larry Brown, Scott Skiles, your guy Larry Costello, and Billy Cunningham.
The great Larry Costello. He was the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks in their inaugural season. Brought him to a championship. Don Nelson took over for him, but that's a great name for the past.
Larry Brown coached 8 playoff teams. Incredible. Left side 3, Castle no. Long rebound comes out to Cornet, who starts the second half for Wembanyama. You heard Pablo talk about they expect smaller lineups. Cornet's not going to play the entire game in the second half. Here's Castle, bumped by Ayo, falls away on the shot, no good. Castle hits the deck, he can't buy a whistle. Here's Jaden on the run around the back of Fox, runs it up in the lane, missed it. Cornet's got the rebound. In that same breath of not getting into ISO, the Wolves can't get just loose with their offense. Rudy comes up with a big block in the lane. And then the Wolves turn it right back over. Champagny with it. On the attack in the lane, floats it up over Gobert, and it drops in for 2. Just almost pretend he's still out there, right? Just move the basketball side to side, inside and out. Here's Ayo down the lane, floater off the back iron from 6 feet out, no. Rebound out of bounds to San Antonio. Wolves lead is down to 2. Wolves led by as many as 9. They trailed early by 6. Fox on the move in the lane, runs it up off the glass. No, he got bumped into from behind by Jaden McDaniels.
De'Aaron Fox does a great job of changing speeds. So he's Bugatti speeds. He's got great quickness and be able to get around the defender to get in front, and then he keeps you in jail. He changes speeds there on Jaden McDaniels, puts the brakes on. Jaden runs into him, creates the foul situation. It's the 5th drawn foul by De'Aaron Fox in this game.
Hits the first one. Second foul on McDaniels. Jaden, Julius, and Ant, all with 2 personal fouls. Naz Reid has 3. Second free throw by Fox ties the game. Tied at 60. Wolves working from left to right across your radio here in the second half. Iowa on a dribble, handoff to Jaden, who swings it up top to Rudy. Handoff to Ant with a right-handed dribble. Top of the key at the free throw line. Spins, and the jumper rattles in. 18-footer good for Anthony Edwards. 20 points in this game. 62-60. Champagnie a catch and shoot 3. That's no good. Cornette with an offensive rebound. Pass out to the perimeter. Fox has it. Fires on the 3. Off front rim, no. Rebound kicked around. It's out of bounds. It's Minnesota's basketball. Fox is now 0 for 3 on his threes. And in this series, he's now 4 for 18. Fox shot 33% in the regular season. Jaden McDaniels, he's played the 3rd most number of postseason games in franchise history. It's Ant, it's KG, and then Jaden. Here's Ant around the Rudy screen, pops on an angle 3, missed it short. Spurs have the rebound. Castle on the push against Dosunmu. Castle 6 of 12 shooting tonight. Now feeds Fox right side, who's 3 of 10 from the field. Gets into the paint, out to Vassell, up top Castle, and he got hand checked by Ayo Dosunmu. Second team foul against the Timberwolves here in the quarter. Spurs have yet to commit a foul.
That's the second personal foul. Second team foul.
Castle will trigger in far side, opposite the Timberwolves bench. Cornette, now to Champagnie. His 4th year out of St. John's, feeds Vassell. Free throw line jumper is good, tying the game at 62. Wolves have had 6 possessions at the offensive end here in the second half. They've gone 1 of 4 with 2 turnovers. Randall baseline turnaround jumper, tough off the back iron. No, Rudy offensive rebound. He's got it, dribbles out toward the perimeter. Looking to get rid of it. Finally gets Ayo Dosunmu, steps into a 3. That's online, but short. Castle's got the weak side rebound. Castle grab and go up the center of the floor. Surveys the scene. Champagnie down to the corner. Vassell. Vassell takes a run right by Ant. Reverse layup. He got it. 64-62.
Spurs are just scoring so much easier than Minnesota.
Ant gets free in the lane. Got fouled from behind.
It's amazing how
They're not going to send Ant to the free throw line here.
Luke Cornette does a great job of screen setting for Devin Vassell and others. I mean, when he sets that screen, the defender is trailing by definition at that point. And Vassell is so good at 1-2 dribble past the screen and pull up jump shot. He's so good in the mid-range.
McDaniels off the Gobert screen on the right wing. Gets back around. Gobert pops on the free throw line. Jumper and hits it. 8 points for Jaden McDaniels. Tied back up at 64. It's our 4th tie. There's been 2 lead changes. Champagnie up top, hunting for the lead. Too strong on the 3 ball. Cornette with an offensive rebound. Conley kicks it back out. Here's Champagnie, right-handed dribble to the nail. In the lane, pivots, runs into 2. Kicks out to Castle, who moves it to Vassell. 3 to shoot. Fox with it against McDaniels. Left lane, hesitates, now falls away on the jumper. Popped out, rebound tapped out. Dosumu's got it. Timberwolves have possession, tied at 64. Edwards far side, met by Castle, 35 feet out. Edwards looking to drive with the right hand. Now crosses over to the left hand. Trying to get into that step back, but Castle's all over him.
So much standing around.
Here's Randall off the Gobert screen, lowers the shoulder. He lost the ball. Scooped up by Fox, who got tripped up by Ayo Dosunmu. Ayo commits his 3rd personal foul. And that was awfully dangerous, driving in at the feet of Fox, who looks to be a little shaken up.
That's the 6th turnover on Julius Randle. He wants to get a foul call, but there's no foul being drawn. De'Aaron Fox is still down on the floor, getting up gingerly here.
Trying to walk this off. He now is back up on his feet. Julius Randle has 31 turnovers now in 6+ games. So his 7th game. You're getting close to averaging 5 turnovers a game.
Naz Reid's going to come in for Julius.
In this series, Julius had 15, into tonight, Julius had 15 made shots in this series and 12 turnovers.
Yeah. It's not a good ratio.
No. Castle off the Cornet screen, right in the lane, gets airborne, kicks out far side. Here's Vassell, moves to his left in the corner, 3-ball offline. Naz snares the rebound. Naz and Rudy on the floor with Jaden, Ant, and Ayo in the backcourt. Here's Jaden on the move, runs it up. That's not a great shot, but he gets his own miss and puts that back up and in. I like the shot location on his second attempt rather than his first. Castle on a run to the rim. Wow! Knife between 2 defenders and under duress banked it in for 2. 66 all. Here's Jaden McDaniels going to work on Dylan Harper in the paint, rises up, jumper off the back iron. Rudy taps the rebound out. McDaniels has it. Now Ayo, right wing Naz Reid along the baseline, lobs it up for Rudy. It wasn't there. Deflected by Cornet, taken by Harper. On the push, down the lane, on McDaniels, layup good, and a foul.
I don't know when they're going to learn that you can't lob it to Rudy Gobert with Luke Cornet in between them. He's bending back. He wants you to throw that pass. You've got to attack the basket and finish and draw him, and you cannot let Luke Cornet bend back to Rudy Gobert and try to throw that lob. It's too difficult of a pass.
Wolves are playing a dangerous brand of basketball right now. 68-66. It's the Spurs who lead by 2 midway through the third in Game 4. Wolves are down 2-1 on the Timberwolves Radio Network. Rough start to the second half for Minnesota. They're getting outscored 12-6 here in the third quarter. They've had 11 possessions. They've shot 3 of 10 with 4 turnovers. Now, those numbers don't add up because there's a couple of offensive rebounds involved, but 3 of 10 shooting, 4 turnovers to begin the second half. One thing we have not seen that we saw in Game 3, the Wolves attempted 22 corner threes in Game 3. They've only attempted 2 tonight. It's something I asked Chris Finch about on the tip-off show.
You know, with the way that they leave Wembanyama in the paint, you know, oftentimes there are those threes there. They've been there all series. We did much better job of finding them. Yeah, I thought most of them were open shots. Pretty good shots. Maybe a few were rushed, but mostly open.
NBA.com had the Wolves 6 for 21 on corner threes. Second Spectrum had 7 of 22, so right around that. That is a huge number of corner threes. I mean, the Wolves average under 10 a game in the regular season. They put up 21/22 in game 3.
Wembanyama is the low man a lot of times in those situations, so he's protecting the basket. They're creating him because of Wembanyama's dominance in the painted area. So you're also trying to draw and kick those shot attempts too, and then it's an efficient shot. You just got to knock them down.
And as you talked about in the first half, maybe you turn some of those into you're shooting so poorly on those corner threes. Pump fakes on the tag.
Yeah.
Drive the closeout. Free throw is good for Dylan Harper. That caps off the three-point play. Got the layup before the timeout. Spurs lead by 3 here, outscoring the Wolves 13-6 in the second half. TJ Shannon to Nasri. Baseline drive for Nas. Spins on Keldon Johnson. Crosses back over. Still can't get in the paint. Now used up the dribble out to TJ Shannon. 2 to shoot. TJ hunting for his first field goal of the game, and he gets it. I think he switched to the left hand on that one.
He certainly did.
The floater from 8 feet out. Wolves are within 1.
That matchup between Terrence Shannon Jr. and Dylan Harper is definitely a separator right now for San Antonio.
Here's Castle baseline up on Ant. Scores it for 2, and he drew the foul. 71-68. I keep waiting for Anthony Edwards to kind of get in that zone. He looks like he's not engaged right now.
Stephon Castle is great size, and so as a point guard, he's 6'6". He's the same size as Michael Jordan. I mean, Jordan was 6'6" and he's completely dominated. Stephon Castle's got that great physicality to his game as well. That's a big point guard.
First free throw of the game for Castle, his only attempt. 19 points. Plus he's got 6 rebounds. Here's a drive by TJ Shannon, feeds McDaniels in the corner. Good pump fake, a drive. He's rising up over Cornette, missed everything. Off the window, rebound out of bounds, Spurs basketball. Boy, it looked like Jaden wanted to pack that thing. Cornette rose up with verticality. That caused Jaden to miss the rim altogether. Bulls shooting 43% for the game, 6 of 18 from deep. Here's Harper into the paint, stop and pop, 10-footer, good. San Antonio asserting themselves now without Wemby, up by 6. 74-68.
10-2 run for San Antonio.
Here's Ann on the move into the paint, rises up on Cornette, layup no, tip followed by Rudy, that wouldn't drop. Rebound out of bounds, and it'll stay at this end of the floor. Chris Finch has Anthony Edwards, TJ Shannon, Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid, and Rudy Gobert on the floor, and now Mike Conley will check in for Jaden McDaniels. Delay of game warning. Yeah, we have not had one of those, I don't think, the entire postseason. It's okay, I'll double check that, Jim.
I know you will.
I know you gotta love a good delay of game warning. Wolves get it in. TJ up top, straight away on the 3. That shot, no. 74-68. Drive by Keldon Johnson. That shot, no at the rim, and Naz Reid's got the rebound. 9.6 rebounds for Reid. Conley off the Gobert screen, drives in all the way through, sets up Naz up top. He'll take a run from the three-point line, down the lane, puts up the shot over Cornette, no. Castle with a rebound, hit ahead, Dylan Harper. Harper against TJ Shannon in the paint. Switches back to his right hand, now kicks out. Here's Vassell, Keldon Johnson. Johnson spins on Conley in the paint, runs into Naz Reid. 7 to shoot as Vassell's got it. He'll drive in the low block, over Edwards, hits the shot. 76-68. The Spurs lead by 8. It's their largest lead of the game.
Well,
it's a 12-2 San Antonio run.
They got a lot of shot makers on that end of the floor.
Edwards with it, dancing off the Gobert screen. Crosses over on Cornette in the paint. Triple team, lost it out of bounds. It got deflected. Spurs are all sorts of fired up. The Wolves have not met the moment here in the second half. Here comes Julius Randle back on the floor. 6 turnovers in the game for Julius Randle. He's got 6 of the Wolves' 13 miscues.
Gobert sits down, so does Luke Cornett. So San Antonio's small right now.
Basically, Keldon Johnson at the 5. 2 to shoot. Mike Conley's got to force it up and missed the shot, but he drew some contact. Got sandwiched between Vassell and Harper. Dylan Harper will pick it up, and Mike Conley will go to the free throw line for the first time in this postseason.
This San Antonio offense is going to go into a 5-out look, and they're going to spread you out and just put you in the grinder. Minnesota's got to be able to defend on the perimeter. Julius Randle, Naz Reid are going to be up against it. Everybody can shoot, everybody can drive it.
Mike Conley, 81% at the free throw line in his postseason career, which has spanned 13 different seasons. 6 times made it with Memphis, 3 times Utah, 4 times Minnesota. Tonight is his 118th career postseason game. He hits 2 free throws. The Wolves are within 6, but Minnesota shooting 4 for 17 here in the quarter with 4 turnovers. Here's Harper on the attack, splits 2 down the lane. Mike recovers, knocks it out of bounds. It'll stay San Antonio ball.
Setting that V action at the top of the floor, a double high pick and roll for Dylan Carter, trying to get TJ Shannon off of him and get Mike on him. Mike did a good job of stripping the basketball from Dylan Carter as he was, Dylan Harper as he was driving to the basket.
Vassell and Castles. Carter Bryant, Johnson and Dylan Harper. 14 to shoot. Fox will trigger it. Lobs it out to the perimeter. Keldon Johnson against Naz Reid. Back to Carter Bryant. He traveled.
Did the old Fred Flintstone routine. Caught the basketball.
Can you make that sound effect? I love it.
Yeah, he was shuffling the puppies as before he put the ball on the deck.
Mike Conley will bring it up. Down by 2 possessions here. Hunting for some offense. Mike Conley got stripped, but Anthony Edwards now with it. The ball did get deflected as Ant stepped to the backcourt. Conley on the attack. I think dribbled off the foot of Keldon Johnson. On the floor, diving for it. Conley and Fox are tied up. Jump ball.
The geometry on the floor for Minnesota is not the same without Dante DiVincenzo. It's just a huge factor for the Wolves. To have that guy that can space the floor, and then all the toughness stuff that Dante did for Minnesota as well. Mike got up there and almost won that tap.
Spurs come away with it. 3:30 left to go in the third. Harper spins on Conley into the paint, rises up with the right hand, scores it for 2.
He's just dominating the painted area right now, too. Minnesota's 2 for 11 in the paint in the quarter. 44-32 advantage for San Antonio in the paint without Wemby.
Edwards with it, sees 2, bounces across court. Here's Naz Reid on a run down the right side of the lane, shuffles it inside. Randle, nicely timed cut. Naz finds him. Randle with a flush. One of the few easy buckets the Wolves have gotten here in the second half. They're now 5 of 18 shooting. 15 to shoot. Fox right in the lane, working against TJ Shannon in the paint. Falls away on the 2 and hits it, rattling it in. He's 3 for 8. They make it 4 for 9 inside the arc, 0 for 3 from outside the arc. De'Aaron Fox, that was 15 points.
Seems like he's had way more damage.
15 to shoot.
4 of 12.
I agree. Shannon, corner 3 is good right in front of that Spurs bench. So we said the Wolves had been just 1 of 2 on their corner 3s, making 2 out of 3. 80-75, Fox baseline stop and pop. TJ tried to recover and contest, but Fox hits again. He's up to 17. Fox is 7 of 10 at the free throw line in this game. Ant with it. Sees 2 again, spots TJ in the corner, fires again and hits. Same spot, same result. 4-point game. Under 2 to go in the third. Carter Bryant, illegal screen. TJ Shannon able to draw it. Carter Bryant popped into him. TJ has some words for him as he heads toward that Timberwolves bench. 1:53 left to go in the third. TJ Shannon providing a spark. Spurs 82, Timberwolves 78. San Antonio up 2 games to 1. Timberwolves Radio Network.
Twist with another scoreboard update from our NBA Tonight studios. We have our first conference finalist. Earlier this afternoon, the New York Knicks secured a sweep of the Philadelphia 76ers, a 144-114 boat racing of the Sixers in Philly. It means the Knicks are headed back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the second straight season. Of course, the first time with head coach Mike Brown, and he spoke after the 4-game sweep of the Sixers was complete about his team's consistency being the key to them being the best version of themselves.
You know, when you talk about the elite and the great in any business, I don't care what business you're in, there's one word that stands out. It's the word consistency. The elite do it every freaking play, even if it gets boring or monotonous, you know, and that's what we have to figure out to see if we can do. If we can do it every play, then we have a chance to be elite.
And the elite New York Knicks have now earned themselves several days off as they will await the series winner of that Pistons-Cavs matchup, currently a 2-1 lead for the Pistons. We might get our second conference finalist as soon as tomorrow night. Thunder have a chance to go for the sweep of the Lakers in Game 4 tomorrow night in L.A. Back to Alan and Jim.
Cal, thank you. 1:53 left to go in the third quarter. San Antonio leads it 82-78. They had an 8-point lead just about a minute and 10 seconds ago, and the Wolves have gone on this 8-4 run, and it feels like TJ Shannon's back-to-back corner threes have helped get the ship heading in the right direction again.
Minnesota stopped doing the little things too, because they were really attacking the glass in terms of second chance points. 6 of 7 early before Wemby was kicked out of this game. Just 1 of 4 since, so 4 points. So you got to make shots, and San Antonio's been able to do that with this small lineup. They can spread you out. They're going to attack the basket. They've been dominating the paint. Minnesota has got to make shots. Those 2 shots by Terrence Shannon Jr., those 2 threes that he made from that right corner, were huge shots for Minnesota's confidence.
Yep. TJ remains on the floor with Ayo Dosunmu. Jaden McDaniels back in with Julius Randle and Naz Reid. No big on the floor for San Antonio. Champagnie, Fox, Johnson, Bryant, and Harper. Wing left, Jaden McDaniels beyond the arc, feeds Randle. He's doubled along the baseline. Kicks out of that, up top, here's TJ Shannon, puts on the deck, puts up an awkward shot, and does not go in, but he drew the contact on Carter Bryant.
Another foul on Carter Bryant. It's his third.
In 10 minutes. They say TJ was not in the act of shooting. It's the 4th team foul on San Antonio. They're first in the final 2 minutes. Wolves don't have a foul to give. Ayo will trigger in. Naz Reid has got it against Julian Champagnie. Now Jaden McDaniels against Champagnie. Drives in, gets to the cup. Oh, got a good deep last step, elevates and hits.
Well, that looked pretty easy right there. A little handoff with he and Julius at the top of the floor. Jaden puts the move on, got right to the rim.
Earlier in this quarter, Jaden was only getting to within, 8-6 feet, somewhere in that range. This time he got right to the cup. Wolves nearly got a steal, but Keldon Johnson comes with it. Left side, drives on Julius Randle to the baseline, pivots, terminates the dribble, got knocked down, ball out of bounds. It's Timberwolves basketball.
Keldon Johnson tried to sell it that Julius knocked him out of bounds. Brent Barnaky was not hearing it.
Keldon Johnson, 6'5", listed at 215. I think he might be a little bit bigger than that. Let's add about 10 or 15. TJ, left side, fires on the 3, it's short. 82-80, the Spurs lead it by 2. Fox on the run against McDaniels. Cut off at the free throw line, backs it out. Trying to get in rhythm, settles for the mid-range jumper. Off front rim, no. Ayo Dosunmu's got the rebound. 5 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists for Ayo Dosunmu. Here's TJ on the attack, lobs it to the corner, picked off by Fox. Trying to do too much. 25 seconds left in the quarter. Keldon Johnson a drive all the way to the cup, and a turnover once again, cashed in for 2 at the other end. 84-80, the Spurs lead it by 4. 15 turnovers for 17 San Antonio points. Io with it inside of midcourt. Shot clock is off. 5 on the clock. Drives in, missed the layup, but swirls off. Champagny the rebound. He'll fire three-quarter court shot is going to be offline and short. We head to the fourth. San Antonio already up 2 games to 1, but they're without Wemby, and yet they still lead by 4 as we make the turn for home. 84-80. San Antonio by 4 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Here we go to the fourth quarter of Game 4. 12 minutes up on the scoreboard. A packed house here at Target Center. Had little to cheer about in that third quarter. The Wolves got outscored by 8.
Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers and to the fathers who are mothers.
From distance, they turned it over 6 times.
Life is hard. Anyway, Potoi sending an overall shout out.
Wolves shot just 4 of 14 in the paint. They had 6 turnovers that just gifted San Antonio 9 points. And with all that being said, it's still a 4-point game. This is very much in hand, but the Wolves have to start playing with a sense of urgency, and it's got to start right now.
And San Antonio's done a great job of cashing in after the turnovers. You mentioned the points in the paint. 10 of 13 shooting for the Spurs in the painted area in the quarter. I mean, that's unbelievable.
And the Wolves were 4 of 14.
4 of 14 for Minnesota.
I mean, what a discrepancy.
I mean, that's the game right now.
You're
right, though. They're going to really kick themselves by the way they started this third quarter and played throughout it.
Yeah. Fans, there's nothing quite like being a Timberwolves member, whether you're in for 10, 20, or every single home game. You'll save big, get special access to playoff tickets, and catch every OMG moment from Anthony Edwards. Explore the membership experience at Timberwolves.com/memberships. Spurs have the ball to begin the fourth quarter. Fox walks it up across the timeline. Rejects the castle screen, gets it to Stephon in the lane, lobs it up to Cornet, who throws it down. 10 of 13, how about 11 of 14 shooting for the Spurs in the paint in the second half?
It's just too easy.
Way too easy. 86-80, Spurs by 6. Dosunmu, McDaniels, Edwards, Gobert, and Reed starting the fourth quarter. Here comes Rudy to set the high screen. It's not getting anywhere. 5 to shoot. Now inside the three-point line. Pulls up. Tough 2. In and out. Back in. 22 points for Anthony Edwards. 8 of 15 shooting. Champagny in the right corner opposite the Wolves bench. Back out to Fox, who's right inside of midcourt. Dave McDaniels has his left hand on Fox's right hip. Now Fox on the move to the free throw line. Pulls up. Got some separation. Drains the jumper. Fox is up to 19 points. Starting backcourt for the Spurs, Castle and Fox have combined for 38 points. Throw in Dylan Harper, that's another 18. Cornet spins off a Rudy screen to the right side, working against Harrison Barnes, still 40 feet out, now takes a run into the paint, runs into Cornet, pivots, tough ball away, trying to do it all himself, comes up well short on the shot. No ball movement on that possession. Champagny cross-court Barnes into the corner, Castle. Castle holds, fakes the drive, sets up the three, lets it fly, missed it. Naz Reid the rebound. Wolves are down by 6 with 10:30 left to play in game 4. Naz will bring it up. Lowers the shoulder on Champagny, spins in the lane, up with a right hand, jump hook, it drops in. Naz into double figures with 11 points. He's got 7 rebounds to go along with those. Only Rudy Gobert has more rebounds wearing a Wolves jersey tonight. Harrison Barnes off the Cornet screen, free throw line jumper, automatic for Harrison Barnes. Has been doing that for 14 seasons.
They are just a well-oiled machine, San Antonio is.
53% shooting for the Spurs.
Just taking turns out here, destroying Minnesota's defense.
Naz Reid against Stephon Castle, wing right, now Ant with it. Out by midcourt, Jaden to the corner, here's Ayo Dosunmu on the attack in the lane, runs up the shot, it swirls around, it wouldn't drop. Ayo has missed 7 of 9 shots. 90-84, a 6-point Spurs lead. They've got the ball, Champagny catch and shoot up top. Now he puts it on the deck to the elbow, bouncing it out to Castle. Still 12 to shoot. He pulls Edwards out to the perimeter. Off the Cornet screen. Gets into the paint, got stripped by Rudy, but a foul. Well, I think Brent Barnaky says he's going to send Castle to the free throw line for 2 shots. In the act of shooting. Edwards fouled him right across the arms.
Yeah, he does. That's his
bad. It's a bad position.
That's his 4th foul too. Well, all these San Antonio guards just do a great job of coming off these ball screens and putting you in jail. They get you on their back and they just keep you there.
Yep.
And then they force Rudy up into coverage, and that's where, you know, Luke Cornet has gotten his points in these games. He's got 3 hoops. All of them have been around the basket when Rudy stepped up, having to guard somebody that's beating you off the dribble in a ball screen action.
I feel like Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle have just learned from De'Aaron Fox on how to do that.
Yeah,
they're all elite at that.
They're all good at it, and then all these small pick and rolls when Cornet's along the baseline in the dunker spot.
1 out of 2 at the line for Castle. Here's Ant at the elbow, fades on the jumper and hits it. 24 points for Edwards. Harrison Barnes running the floor. He gets fed, gets deep in the paint, kicks it back out. Fox 3 ball on the way, no good. And the rebound, we have a loose ball foul. Cornet is down and Naz Reid is down. So is Ayo. Naz appears to be in some pain, holding his right ankle.
He got kicked from behind. Luke Cornet gets knocked to the floor, and it's like a chain reaction. He runs into the back of Naz Reid. Naz didn't sprain his ankle by jumping. It was Luke Cornet barreling into him.
Naz limps off the floor, heads back toward that Timberwolves tunnel. For now, just trying to walk it off. Julius Randle back on the floor. Fox will trigger in just beyond the Wolves bench. Spurs have it in their association white jerseys. Fox out by midcourt. Cornet sets the screen. Jaden tries to go under it. Fox pops on the 3 and hits his first of the night.
Chris Finch is so mad right now that Jaden tried to go under that screen, and it's really an illegal screen when Cornet does that. When he rolls Jaden up like that, it's really an illegal screen. Should be called a foul on Cornet, but anyway, Jaden got caught in jail, couldn't get under, couldn't get over, and it was a wide open shot for De'Aaron Fox.
Fox drains that triple. We mentioned how he's been struggling. He's now 5 for 20 in the series, but a big one there puts the Spurs up 8 with 8:49 left on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network. 8:49 left to go in the fourth quarter. 94-86. It is an 8-point Spurs lead. In the second half, Jim, the Spurs are shooting 57% from the field, while the Wolves are hitting 39%. They have found a rhythm without Wemby, and the Wolves still look shell-shocked that they don't know how to play without Wemby on the floor anymore.
Yeah, they've lost their aggressiveness, that's for sure. Only 2 free throw attempts in the second half, so they've not been attacking. They've not been able to make shots in the paint. They've not been able to get to the free throw line. They've not been able to offensive rebound the basketball and get second chance points. Luke Cornett's done a great job. And when their small lineup comes on the floor for San Antonio, they've done a great job of spacing Minnesota out and getting into the paint. They've just made things difficult on both ends.
We've said multiple times in the second half, there's still time to turn things around, but we're down 8:49 left. You're running short on those opportunities. The season is on the line with 8:49 left.
It certainly is.
Ayo Dosunmu up off of Jaden McDaniel's screen, now off of Rudy's screen. Here's Ant. Makes the catch left side, pump fake, sees 2, sets up Ayo, drives in, runs it up, off back iron, no. Offensive rebound, Randall, put back no good. Rebound loose, and Harrison Barnes has got the rebound.
Ayo's just had a really tough time scoring the basketball in this game.
2 for 10 shooting, 1 for 7 in the paint. Wolves got 2 cracks at it at that offensive end. At least the offense looked a little better with the ball movement. Fox fades in the paint, no good. Rebound tapped out, Randall's got it. See if the Wolves can push here. Anthony Edwards into the front court, veers right. Around Champagny, now stops. Left-handed dribble. Again, now sees a double. Bounce pass, Ayo, extra pass, Jane. Left side, open 3, on its way. Short. Rudy, offensive rebound. Back out to Ayo. Wolves can reset here. They trail by 8. Edwards, 8 to shoot, takes a run. Right side of the lane, puts up a tough 2 and hits it. 26 for Anthony Edwards. 94-88.
Trying to keep Minnesota alive until some of his teammates decide to play basketball here.
Jaden 5 for 31 in the postseason on his threes. Here's De'Aaron Fox, bounce pass, dangerous. Julius almost got the steal. Barnes floats it up right of the lane. Rebound tapped out. Fox has got it. Out of Castle in the corner against Anthony Edwards. Spin move. Castle fades. 5-footer off window. No. Rudy the rebound. 6 points, 10 rebounds. Rudy Gobert. 94-88, trailing by 6 off the Rudy screen. And pops on a 3 and sticks it. Straight away, triple for Anthony Edwards. 3-point game. Timeout San Antonio. And Chris Finch stops him
Bucket
toward the bench.
I wasn't sitting here. Bucket, bro. Far from over.
Looks alive for the first time.
Far from over.
Half. He is in rhythm and he's got 29 points. Minnesota 11 points in the fourth quarter. Ants got 9 of them. Timeout on the floor. We step aside on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Time for another scoreboard update. We told you the New York Knicks, a 144-114 rout of the Sixers in Philly. That means a sweep for Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson and company. The Knicks going back to the Eastern Conference Finals for a second straight season. They'll await the winner of the Pistons-Cavs series. Cleveland got on the board with that 116-109 victory yesterday. They now trail that series 2-1. They'll host Game 4 tomorrow night in Cleveland. Head coach Kenny Atkinson on the mindset his team has to have entering that pivotal Game 4 clash.
They still feel like they have control of this series. You know, they said it, right? We're good. We're playing good basketball. So we got to turn that narrative. So we've turned it a little, right? You win Game 1, but to really to really make this where they're, they're a little like more aware of our threat, we got to go get this one. Because right now I think they still feel very confident, which is a, that's not a, I get it, I totally get it, but we have to put more doubt. Starts with, getting this one tomorrow.
So Pistons Cavs tomorrow night in Cleveland, a 2-1 series lead for Detroit, and that one also a Game 4 in LA tomorrow. Lakers hoping to avoid elimination as they host the Thunder. All right, buckle up. 7 minutes left. Wolves down 3. Here's Alan Horton and Jim Peterson.
All right, Cal, thank you. Ant has scored 9 of the Wolves' 11 points here in the fourth quarter. A 5-0 run, all courtesy of Anthony Edwards. And the 8-point San Antonio lead, which was their largest of the game. They've done that a couple of times, but most recently was 7:48 left to play. Wolves have gone 5-0 since then. They've got a little bit of momentum. They send out Anthony Edwards, TJ Shannon, Rudy Gobert, Jaden McDaniels, and Julius Randle.
You've got to find some way to shut the water off of Dylan Harper. He's at 18 points off the bench on 7 of 9 shooting. Very efficient night, but Fox and Castle have combined for 42 points, just 1 turnover between them. So super efficient for all of these very talented San Antonio guards.
Fox is off the floor right now with 7:05 left. The Spurs inbounded, and
they're showing zone here too, by the way.
Zach Zarba is going to make them inbound the ball again. Spurs have Harper, Johnson, Vassell, Champagny, and Castle. Yeah, what looks like a 2-1-2 zone. Rudy right at the nail. Center of the free throw line. Here we go. Spurs bring it up right to left. Dylan Harper wing right to Castle. Now into the corner, Vassell. Catch and shoot 3 on the way is good.
It's probably not a good idea to leave Devin Vassell wide open if you're Julius Randle.
Corner threes this year, 41% for Devin Vassell in the regular season. 97-91, back down by 6. Another good execution for the Spurs offense out of the timeout. Ant the drive inside, hangs under duress, missed the shot off the back iron. Keldon Johnson, the rebound with 6.5 to go in the fourth. Dylan Harper now with it. Keldon Johnson, 35 feet out, looks left, here's Castle. Off the Johnson screen, gets to the top of the key. Passes it wing right, Vassell again, lines up the 3, that circles out, Rudy the rebound. And a good kick out to Randle, feeds it up ahead to McDaniels. Jaden left of the lane, steps through on Castle, draws the contact. Jaden McDaniels will shoot 2. He has not been to the free throw line tonight. Shooting 82% in the postseason, getting there 3 times a game. Timberwolves basketball tonight presented by Wings Credit Union. Put Wings Credit Union in your starting lineup to help meet your financial goals. Wings members enjoy some of Minnesota's best savings and lending rates, convenient digital banking, and access to over 80,000 surcharge-free ATMs. Visit wingscu.com to learn more. Insured by NCUA. Membership required. First free throw good by Jaden McDaniels.
Barely good. Naz Reid back into the game, by the way. Good to see him back after getting rolled up earlier in the quarter.
Rudy Gobert takes a seat. Jaden hits the second free throw. It's back to a 4-point game, 97-93. Spurs will bring it up here. Dylan Harper, ball in hand. Feeds left side to Keldon Johnson. Julius Randle's all over him. Johnson's ended up going the wrong way. Now he gets a running start. Down the right side of the lane, under duress, he turned it over. Well, that's a couple times Keldon Johnson's got sped up and he hasn't handled it well.
Good pressure by Randle as well.
Exactly 6 minutes left to play. Edwards takes the inbound. He'll run it up on Devin Vassell. Got to get across the timeline here, and he does with just a second to spare. Now down the lane. Oh, the ball got knocked away by Champagny, but a whistle and a foul is called. We could not hear the whistle. This Target Center crowd on their feet here midway through the fourth quarter. I mentioned how the Wolves had only gotten to the free throw line 2 times in that third quarter.
Yeah.
And suddenly starting to get some trips to the line, and Ant knocks it down, another 30-piece. Back-to-back 30-point games for Anthony Edwards. 18th time in his career he's had a 30-point game in the postseason. Most in franchise history. 97-94.
Has been pretty good in the mid-range tonight, too. 9 of 16 from two-point range. 4 of 9 in the paint, but 5 of 7 from mid-range for Ant. All those little dots outside the paint area. Been very good, making tough shots. 11 in the fourth quarter for Anthony Edwards.
Second free throw good, 97-95. Castle fouled as he tries to work on TJ Shannon. He got hit in the face.
13th foul on Minnesota here. San Antonio has 2 team fouls.
Vassell will trigger in. De'Aaron Fox back in the game. Off the Champagny screen, switched on to Naz Reid. Fox crosses over, gets a running start. In the paint, lost the dribble, somehow got it back. Trapped along the baseline, falls out of bounds. I think he stepped out of bounds. This might be worth a challenge here.
He threw it off Julius Randle at the very end before he touched out of bounds. He did throw it off Julius.
I thought he stepped. The Wolves are going to
he's on the line.
Yeah.
They should. Looks like to me he was on the line. They're going to challenge this.
Yep. So, actually, you know, the Wolves tried to substitute to elongate the time, but the Spurs were they were subbing anyway. Yeah, this is going to end up Timberwolves basketball. Now, this is their final challenge. They have a chance to go 2-0, but they won't have a challenge the final 5:32.
The ruling on the floor of San Antonio basketball is being challenged by Minnesota.
So as De'Aaron Fox recrowds the basketball, the loose ball, he's spinning on the baseline, and as he spins, he tries to throw it off Julius Randle, but his heel is touching the line. Well, that's gonna be close though.
Whoa, that actually.
He's touching the ball with Randle out of bounds.
Both touching it right there? Well, we have a moment. We're approaching the 9 o'clock hour. Man, it's nice that it's not 11 or 12 or 10. A nice Sunday evening, 6:30 start time here locally. 9 o'clock, straight up Central Time Zone. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification all across the Minnesota Timberwolves radio network. Along with studio host and executive producer, Cal Soderquist, Jim Peterson, Alan Horton from our broadcast booth here in section 132 of the lower bowl. Our engineer is Veronica Rodriguez. Our statisticians are Dave Hanlon and Mike Greenbaum. Our studio coordinators, Alex Leibolt and Ben Haney. Glad you're along with us on our flagship here in the Twin Cities, 100.3 FM, KFAN The Fan, iHeartRadio app, Timberwolves mobile app, Sirius XM, NBA Radio, channel 86. And all across the Timberwolves radio network.
I don't know how you adjudicate this because Julius is touching the basketball with De'Aaron Fox, and they're both standing out of bounds. Fox has possession of the basketball as he's trying to throw it off Randle, but they're both out of bounds. Is this a jump ball situation? I'm not even sure how you even...
Right. You know, I do think it's important that Fox technically has the possession. I mean, Julius never has possession of it.
After review, it's been deemed there is nothing clear or conclusive to overturn the ruling on the floor. Therefore, the call on the floor stands as San Antonio basketball. Challenge is unsuccessful.
There you go.
I don't have a huge problem with that. I think it's probably the right call.
I mean, it just is. It's just a
It's
difficult
unfortunate,
thing to challenge. It's a 2-point game with a lot of time left. You'd probably like to keep it.
Yeah.
Keep your challenge, but there you go. San Antonio still has their challenge.
Chaos down here. Here's Dylan Harper in the paint, out of the timeout, missed the shot. The Wolves have the rebound. They got a chance to run. They're down by 2, 97-95. Ant slowed up as he crosses midcourt, sees a double. Good pass to McDaniels at the nail, out to the corner, Naz Reid. 13 to shoot. Now Ant takes the handoff, rises up and gives the Wolves the lead. A right side triple.
Bucket.
5-10 left to play. Anthony Edwards, 34 points. Timberwolves up 98-97. Here's Harper drifting left against Edwards. Back to the right side and Champagny. Now to Fox with it. Running away from McDaniels. Naz Reid switches out into Fox. Fox takes a run into the paint, runs up a tough 2 and hits it. My goodness. 99-98, the Spurs go back in front. It's our 6th lead change. We've had 5 ties. 1-point game with 4:39 left. TJ with the ball in his hands up top. And drives into the paint on Harper, got it knocked away. Cornette controls. Fox now with it. He'll drift to the right side of the floor. He'll pop on a deep three. That's way offline. The rebound saved by TJ Shannon. Nicely done to Naz Reid. 4:20 left to play in the game. Naz quickly up into the front court. Off of TJ Shannon's screen. Switched on to Cornette. Takes him off the dribble along the baseline. Runs it up and hits it. Oh, that's easy pickings. Naz Reid has given the Wolves a 1-point lead with 4:05 left. Here's Fox back the other way. Stops on McDaniels at the three-point line. Now comes up top and draws contact. 4th team foul against the Wolves. Jaden McDaniels picks up his 4th.
Minnesota's going jumbo lineup here. Terrence Shannon's going to come out. Interesting call here by Chris Finch. He's going to get his 5 best players on the floor.
The big three, or the 3 bigs. They've only played 6 minutes together in the series. Timeout has been called here with 3:58 left. This one will be charged to San Antonio. Each team has 2 left with 3:58 left in the 4th, 199. But in those 6 minutes that the 3 bigs have played together, Randall, Gobert, and Reed, the Wolves are a +9. And in the postseason, +19 in 24 minutes. That lineup has paid off.
Yeah.
Chris Finch wants to get to it more, but I just don't think he's been able to the last couple of games here.
Yeah, well, the blowout loss was one thing. In the last ball game, he didn't need to. You know, I just think that for Minnesota right now, you got to get your best players on the floor who can make shots for you, and then also defend. Terrence Shannon's had a tough night. 3 of 12 for TJ. He has made some good defensive plays. He's been a plus player. Just had a tough time making shots. So with 3:58 to go here, Minnesota with a 1-point lead. Get Rudy back on the floor to match up with Cornette. Get some defense out here. Naz has done a nice job defending. Chris Finch has given him a lot of credit here in the postseason with how he's defended.
Wolves have gone 3-2 in the postseason in clutch time games. They've been the best 4th quarter team in the postseason.
Julius has been one of the best 4th quarter players in the 4th quarter during the playoffs.
Wolves have shot nearly 50% in 4th quarters. Their opponents at 43%. Spurs have it down 1. Here's Cornette off the inbound with 12 on the shot clock. Vassell comes to, takes the handoff. Naz goes down. Rudy recovers to contest the shot. It's missed by Vassell. Wolves have the rebound. Jaden McDaniels controls. Wolves with a 1-point lead and possession here. 3:43 left. Trailing 2 games to 1. Ant drifts to the right side, sees 2, terminates the dribble, bounces it out to Randall. Julius around the Rudy screen at the free throw line, rises up, tried to dump it into Rudy, got deflected, comes back to him, fades on the 15-footer and missed it. Randall 5 of 12 shooting. Here the Harper back the other way, runs it up in the paint, hits the shot, gives the Spurs the lead by 1. How often do we say it? A bad shot at one end turns into 2 points at the other. It's almost as if it's a turnover. Naz Reid with it, drifting left off the Rudy screen. Naz still with it against Fox at the elbow, shuffles it inside. Rudy up strong, got the finish, got the foul. 3-point opportunity. Wolves go back in front. 102-101.
Naz Reid had De'Aaron Fox in a bad way. Luke Cornette had to step up. It's one of the first times, instead of trying to go over the top of Cornette, Naz Reid shovel passes it directly to Rudy, who finishes. Cornette tries pushing him in the chest to stop the score, but Rudy knocks the free throw down too.
Rudy Gobert 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight. With 3:02 left to go in the 4th quarter, the Wolves lead by 2. It's 103-101. Fans are on their feet. Cornette's got it, right wing, handoff Castle. He holds with Anthony Edwards guarding him. Fox with it off the Cornette screen up top, down the right side of the lane. Stop and pop off glass, missed it. Rudy Gobert's got the rebound. Anthony Edwards now with the ball in his hands. 2:40 and counting left. Wolves up 103-101. Double coming at Ant, off to Jaden McDaniels. He drives on Harper, spins back to the left hand, came up short. Big time rebound, Randall, out to Reid, angle 3, off the back iron, no. Edwards has the rebound. He drives inside, right to the cup. He got the lay-in. 2 more for Ant. He's up to 36. The Wolves have a 2-possession lead with 2:20 left.
19-7 run for Minnesota.
Here's Castle working on Reid. Oh, and he kind of hooked the arm. It's going to be an offensive foul. They got him. You got caught, Stephon. You got caught!
Uh-oh.
He hooked the arm of the defensive player going down the lane and then ripped up through it to act as if he got fouled, and the officials saw it. 2:13 left to play in the game, up 105-101.
Wolves have held San Antonio to 4 points over the last 4 minutes. Pretty amazing defensive effort for
They
Wolves.
flipped the switch late. Here's Jaden McDaniels on a drive, got it knocked away. He backtracks and scoops it up. Hand off to Julius Randle, right wing, 10 to shoot. Against Castle, bangs away, spins inside off the Rudy, up for the two-headed monster slam! Julius Randle sets up Rudy Gobert, and the Wolves now lead by 6 with 1:56 left.
Physical game out here right now. Julius Randle bully ball on that assist.
Here's Fox, top of the key, in the lane with McDaniels on his hip, now fades on the jumper. It popped out. Rudy's got another rebound, his 13th of the night. 1:40 left to play. And is pressured as he crosses the timeline. He sees a double. He got it knocked away. It's loose on the floor. Scooped up by Harper. He's on the run. Down the lane. On Ant. Layup no, but a whistle and a foul. Too much time left. Can't get lackadaisical. Ant dribbled right into a double team and turned it over.
You got to see that double coming at the timeline.
Especially just recognizing time and score.
Yeah, I mean, they were coming.
Fourth turnover on Edwards.
They were coming before he crossed the timeline. You got to see that, and you got to give him a pressure release. It's 5 on Ant.
Well, 5 fouls. I was mentioning the 4 turnovers. 107-101. San Antonio with a chance to get a couple of points. Without the clock moving here. Harper hits the first.
The efficiency of Harper, Castle, Fox, and Vassell has been unbelievable.
The officials will allow a late substitution here. Julian Champagny in for Luke Cornett. Harper at the free throw line. 21 points. Free throw is good. It's a 21-9 run since the Wolves were down by 8 with 7:48 left. Ayo up into the front court. He's got the ball handling responsibilities. Pressured by Vassell. Now to Ant against Fox. Here comes the double. Ant holds. He's trapped by midcourt. He falls into the backcourt and is still able to get a timeout.
It's a good timeout for Ant versus getting the turnover. He was knocked off balance. Ayo came in to handle the rock, so Ant didn't have to.
When he initially got that ball, though, only Fox was on. And again, just kind of waited till the double team got to him, and he only had one resort, and that was to call a timeout. Timberwolves basketball tonight brought to you in part by Sezzle, a 4-point play in the NBA. That's hard. Splitting your next Wolves purchase into 4 interest-free installments with Sezzle. That's easy. Download the Sezzle app today. Terms and conditions apply.
Pretty amazing to see how Ant's been attacking in this game. He's been carrying Minnesota's offense here when there's been so much inefficiency on the Wolves side of the ledger. 6 of 15 for McDaniels, 5 of 12 for Randle, 2 of 10 for Ayo Dosunmu. I mean, so it's been inefficiency for Minnesota, 3 of 12 for Terrence Shannon. So not great shooting for the Wolves, but Ant has been fantastic and dynamic. 13 of 22 with 3 of 5 from outside the arc, just attacking the basket, getting to the line.
16 of his 36 points have come here in the fourth quarter.
He's 6 of 8 in the fourth quarter.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, this is a guy he's at the 39-minute mark with 1:17 to go, so he's going to play over 40 minutes in this game.
Second straight game. 40 plus. Played 40 minutes and 33 seconds in game 3. Wolves have it in the front court. They still have 1 timeout remaining. They don't have a foul to give. San Antonio does. Ayo takes the handoff off the inbound, goes in the backcourt, now runs down the lane, runs it up off glass, got it, and a foul! How about that finish? Ayo Dosunmu, who has struggled all night long finishing in the paint. He gets the biggest bucket of the night. Wolves up 6 and a free throw coming up.
Just a huge mistake by San Antonio that time. De'Aaron Fox overruns the overplay as Ayo crossed the timeline to get the inbounds. De'Aaron Fox overran him, which created this driving situation. Dylan Harper fouls Ayo, but it was Fox that gambled on the play that freed Ayo up to make the drive.
Ayo, deep breath, exhales, fires with the right hand, and hits the free throw. It's a 3-possession lead with 1:12 left. There comes Harper with some pace and purpose into the paint. On Randall, drops it off for Champagnie. He'll rise and dunk it for 2. 1:05 left to play.
Got to get organized here. Full court pressure by San Antonio.
McDaniels will trigger in. They get it to Ayo. It's pressured by Harper. Ayo with a right-handed dribble, now switches to the left hand. Gets across the timeline with a second to spare. Still Harper on him. 55 seconds to go in the game, and the Wolves are up 5. 110-105. Dosunmu trying to free himself of Harper. That was 6 to shoot. Now with 5, the dribble handoff nearly blown up. McDaniels gets it back to Ayo. Angle 3 on the way. In and out, no. Naz Reid, offensive rebound. Naz Reid put back. It's all Naz Reid. 112-105. Crashing from the corner, Naz Reid gives the Wolves a 7-point lead with 37 seconds left. Here's Fox into the paint off to Castle. He'll step back on a left angle 3. He'll miss it off the back iron. Harper up high for the rebound, and Dosunmu wraps him up. 29.1 left, 112-105.
Big offensive rebound by Naz Reid. 24 second chance points for Minnesota in this game. A 24-13 advantage for Minnesota. And you're right. I mean, Devin Vassell is absolutely just hugging Anthony Edwards, who cannot move. Like, literally, he's holding him, which is should be called a foul. I don't think I've ever seen anybody that draped on a player off ball. Ayo had to make something happen right there. Nas so clutch to crash on that left corner to get that offensive rebound putback.
Free throw for Harper is good. He's got one more coming. You mentioned the 24 second chance points. In 4 games, the Wolves have had 20, 21, 30, and now 24 second chance points. They were an average offensive rebounding team in the regular season, and San Antonio was the #1 defensive rebounding team in the regular season. Second free throw is good. 112-107. Jaden will inbound with 29.1 left. Ayo trying to get free. Dangerous inbound. He's got it. Now trapped along the baseline. He got his pass knocked away. It's turned over. The Spurs have it. Champagnie with it. Drives on Naz Reid. Runs it up. Shot no. 2 free throws coming up with 20.6 seconds left.
You better get organized after made baskets, because they're not guarding the inbounder. So 2 people are guarding 1. Ayo had 2 people trying to defend him. Devin Vassell is a one-man press on Anthony Edwards, who's not able to get open, but somebody else needs to come to the ball.
Champagnie's free throw is good. In clutch time in the regular season was turnover. They were bottom 5 in the league in turnover rate.
Chris Finch is going to use his remaining timeout here to advance the basketball, I would imagine. You can't have this happen again where you turn it over under your basket and they're able to score so quickly.
2 free throws are good. Just like that, it's a 1-possession game. Wolves do not call a timeout. Jaden struggling to get it in. They finally get it to Ayo, but he's trapped in the corner. Ayo dribbling along on the baseline. He's trying to get a timeout is called. 13.1 game clock. A disaster.
To an 8-second violation.
What?
It was 112-105 with 29.8 seconds to go. The Spurs forced a Minnesota turnover as Dosunmu got trapped in the corner. Harper and Vassell were able to instigate it. And then Dosunmu trapped again. This time by Fox and Harper, and finally a timeout called by Minnesota. So the Spurs still alive with 13.1 seconds remaining. Again, Game 5 coming up on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. at the Frost Bank Center. Catch all the action right here on Spurs Radio, beginning with Spurs Radio Game Night at 6:30. But another thrilling thrilling finish here at the Target Center tonight. Minnesota trying to extend this series to at least a 6th game and make it a best-of-3 series after it started as a best-of-7. Timberwolves won game 1. Spurs took games 2 and 3. And the Timberwolves 13.1 seconds away from evening up this best-of-7 series. Again, Ayo Dosunmu. Now they're telling him to go into the front court here as Minnesota inbounding in the backcourt. Let's see how they work it. It's Jaden McDaniels to inbound. They lob it over. Dangerous pass. Dosunmu catches it. He's trapped. He's fouled down in the corner. What do we got? We got a foul. Spurs want a review. They were hoping for a jump ball. Man, that was a dangerous pass from Jaden McDaniels. Wow. Foul on De'Aaron Fox is his second. We'll put Ayo Dosunmu at the line. And as we just told you, Dosunmu has missed 1 free throw in the playoffs. He is 20 for 21 in this postseason. In the regular season,
he damn sure need to make these. That's for sure.
Makes it a 2-possession game. First one, good. There's your 2-possession game, 113-109. Keldon Johnson, Luke Cornett come in for rebounding. Fox and Harper come out. If the second free throw is down, Spurs will time out immediately. Making 2 timeouts remaining. Minnesota out of timeouts now. Dosunmu, second free throw, good. Timeout Spurs. 5-point game, 9.8 to go. Minnesota 8 of 8 at the line in the fourth quarter. Much like the Spurs, who went 8 of 8 at the line in the fourth quarter on Friday night. Timberwolves are 20 of 22, the Spurs 21 of 27. 9.8 seconds remaining in a 5-point game. Minnesota 114-109. So, with 1 timeout remaining and a chance to advance the basketball still, the Spurs don't necessarily have to go for the 3 on this possession. They could get the quick 2, but you're probably going to run out of time. I think they probably need the 3 here. Probably going to need the 3, and going to need at least 1 Minnesota miss. It's a good foul, but then they would need 2 Minnesota misses at the line or a turnover down by 3. And with 9.
Hey, real quick, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me on a Mother's Day Sunday.
The Spurs,
until next time. Next time will be tomorrow. We should have another broom action event going on. Lakers better win. Appreciate y'all.
And 1 for Dylan Harper. So Harper, Castle, Champagnie, Vassell, Fox are the 5 on the floor here, all capable of knocking one down. 9.8 to go. Castle will inbound. Let's see what the Spurs have drawn up here, and they can get for a good look. Castle to inbound, face guarded there by Ayo Dosunmu. Over the top to Vassell with a catch. Vassell back out here to Fox. Fox fires up the deep 3. No good. Rebound secured by Champagnie. Puts it up. No good. And that will do it. Minnesota will split the pair here at home, winning game number 4.
Joseph, appreciate you, brother.
36 points, 16 in the fourth
series
quarter.
Is still on.
Looks like Victor Wembanyama's 16 in the fourth quarter on Friday night. And Timberwolves stave off the Spurs 114-109 despite 64 combined points from De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, and Stephon Castle. We got more to come here on Spurs postgame. Take a look at a final scoring summary, stats, highlights, and analysis. Matt Nielsen will join us downstairs courtside for some final thoughts. And this best of 7 now a best of 3 as Minnesota takes game number 4 here tonight. 114-109. We'll look ahead to game number 5 coming up on Tuesday night. Spurs finished 4th of their last 16 from the field. And once again, the fourth quarter dooms them in the Twin Cities. Next Spurs broadcast comes your way on Tuesday, game number 5. Broadcast time begins with Spurs Radio Game Night at 6:30. Tip time just after 7 right here on Spurs.
IPA,
14,
appreciate you.
Final. Minnesota with a victory. Series
Y'all have a good night.
Spurs Radio. Game number 4 of the Western Conference semifinals continues in a moment.
The Lakers better try to do something. They at home. They don't want to get swept. Luka's not coming to the rescue. He may ask for more money at the end of this season. I'm just saying. Can't do that. I'm just, you know how that goes. Lakers. OKC. OKC. Sweet.
Fuck with it, bro.
Hey, y'all have a good night. Potoi, hit the like button on your way out. I'd appreciate it. You know how that goes.
Gorilla glue the pack.
no punch. Gotta go anywhere, throw darts. High above reality, I never flow far. Friend of foe, the evils playing both parts. Got an ice cold heart, spotlight so dark. Lord, please protect me from the lame shit. Rather stay on my own, never lane switch. Overthinking a lot, feel like my brain split. 28 black years, learn what pain is. I'm a stoner each and every to my last day. Mad dash, red race too fast, bitch. Gotta screw the clean slate, had the backspace. Get lit, then it's back to the cash chase. Too crazy.